Well, Lauren and Eugene, this morning we have learned some startling new details about this investigation. We've learned that with that backpack with the suspect, 120 bullets were discovered, 120 unspent, unused bullets that could have been used in that shooting. So apparently this could have been so much worse. The suspect going to a third-floor teacher's lounge in an attempt to shoot out the windows at people that were fleeing, but the windows impact resistant, so he gave up and left with the crowd. There were so many missed warning signs in this. Even on the day of the shooting itself, someone saw the suspect as he was headed in the building, made a call, but by that time it was too late. 17 crosses line the fence along Pine Island Road as students try to make sense of how this could have happened here. I just want justice. Some in tears, others grateful to be alive.
There was a flood of people coming in the opposite direction that started running towards us saying, no, don't come here. He's coming this way. We're told the alleged gunman, Nicholas Cruz, confessed to detectives. This whole thing orchestrated. His motive, though, still unclear.
Be held without bond until
the Broward Sheriff's Office put out this timeline of events late Thursday. At 2:19, an Uber dropped Cruz off at the school. A staff member spotted him and made a call on a radio. Cruz didn't go into the front of the school, but rather Building 12, a building that houses primarily freshman students. Just 25 seconds after entering, he pulled his high-powered AR-15 rifle out of a duffel bag and began firing into 5 classrooms, going back and forth. The shooting continued for approximately 3 minutes. At 2:27, he dropped his rifle and backpack loaded with ammunition. He exits the building, crossing fields with other students fleeing the chaos. At 2:50, he's seen going into a Walmart, has a drink at a Subway. He then heads to a nearby McDonald's. At 3:41, an hour and 20 minutes after the first shots were fired, a police officer spots Cruz more than a mile away from the school. The biggest development, though, appears to be the amount of warning that law enforcement and Broward school officials had. Cruz had been expelled for what? It's unclear.
It is a student that we have been providing supports for and recognize that there certainly were challenges.
While Cruz was banned from the school, it was perfectly legal for him to buy his AR-15 in Coral Springs last year. Politicians today sounding the alarm regarding mental illness and guns.
How do we make sure that individuals with mental illness do not touch a gun? We need to have a real conversation so we have public safety for our schools in this state.
The school district trying to figure out what their next move is.
We're going to be spending the next couple days figuring out what the path is to reopen the school.
Well, there's no school on Monday. There are some questions about whether they will resume operations on Tuesday. But meantime, a lot of students telling us that they don't want to come back. There is right now an ongoing discussion about whether they should tear down that building completely and put a memorial up. Live in Parkland, Riel Creighton, CBS 4 this morning.
Riel?
Well, Eugene and Lauren, Miami police investigating what they hope could be a major development in this case. Take a look at the video that shows you what they found last night. It was here on school grounds near 176th and Northwest 32nd Avenue in Miami Gardens. A burned car melted down to the rims. Police in the city of Miami telling us that it matches the description of that white Nissan Sentra that they had been searching for that belongs to murder victim 19-year-old Priscilla Torres. Take a look at her picture. Fire officials believe that car had been torched sometime at around 8 o'clock last night. Torres' body was found on an early Saturday morning in Little Havana. Now, we heard from her heartbroken family who did not understand why anyone would want to hurt her. Police, too, at least publicly telling us that they are still looking for a motive for the killing and the suspect. Meantime, back out here live, police have not been able to definitively say that that is indeed Torres' car. They're still trying to match the VIN number on the charred vehicle to the one that they know belonged to her. Meantime, though, they are still very much in search of leads. If you have any information on who killed this young woman, the number to Crime Stoppers is 305-471-TIPS. You do not have to give your name. Live in Miami Gardens, Riel Creighton, CBS 4 this morning.